here in Ontario, California. We're at Bisimoto's shop. We're checking on an attainable hot hatch build that he's building for SEMA this year. BC, what's going on?
How are you? Good to see you.
Well,
cheers.
Good, man.
Oh, welcome to my home away from home. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Bisimoto. I'm the Chief Engineer and CEO of Bisimoto Engineering here in Ontario, California, and we do wonderful things. We build cars for OEMs, those beautiful cars you see at SEMA shows and auto shows, that's us. And for the privateer side, we make cars that are exciting and sometimes not so exciting, absolutely fantastic. So we focus a lot on technology, taking old chassis and infusing modern technology into them, and making cars just really, really exciting. So that's what we do here. This time around, I have something very exciting for you, Dan.
Yeah?
I have a hot hatch that you will love. It's a 2020 Hyundai Veloster N. And we're doing something very exciting with this very nice chassis. It's a front-wheel drive setup, but that's where the kind of madness ends a little bit because the power plant in this is amazing. It's a 2.0 liter inline 4 with a twin scroll turbocharged setup. Direct injected, so we get the opportunity to eat our cake and have it too, with having great gas mileage, very decent, and still amazing power. Above and beyond that, when you take a look at traction, it has vector, which is very nice, and also electronically controlled limited slip differentials as well. 6-speed, so we have 3 pedals, and there's something that you'd be excited about, something that we miss in new cars. Like we have the old school analog handbrake,
Actual handbrake.
So happy. I'm so excited that Hyundai did this for us because now we can do really cool burnouts and stage nicely at the drag strip and all that fun stuff.
It smells so new in there.
It does smell. That new car smell, which is amazing. And you know what else is amazing? This is like, I would say, the best of both worlds, of a coupe and a 4-door. Look at this third door here. How cool is that?
So that side doesn't open.
That side doesn't open. It's just
that's the coupe side. So you're tricking them. Yeah, well, that's the cool thing is if you're the driver, you'd be like,
Very true. Very true.
You go around.
You go around, sir. Or madam.
This is the driver's side.
Amen. So we have so much in store for this car. I am going to create some wonderful bolt-ons with some of my partners. You never have to go inside the engine. So intake, exhaust, flashing, suspension, wheels, tires, brakes, all the normal stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of fun with this. The intake is the first one. It's like the go-to mod for every enthusiast. Intake. So we want to remove any restrictions that can exist from factory, whether it's manufacturing, cost effectiveness, whatever the case may be, whether it's sound. I try to keep up the velocity as much as I can while not restricting any flow to the turbocharger. So I called up my partners from AEM. They were kind enough to create that first prototype for me, which is pretty cool. So it maintains that cross-section area to the turbo. So I'm hoping that velocity stays up.
Dang,
look at that. Sick. Engineered to outperform. I like it. You can hear that intake, sounds good.
221, 260.
Not bad for an intake.
Yeah, there's an increase.
Well, it doesn't matter how much power, Dan, we make on the planet. If we can't put it to the ground, it's rubbish. We need some help from the masters of suspension. So I look forward to going to iBox and seeing what they can cook up for us and make things happen.
BC, my friend.
Yes.
Eibach did a little bit of a number on this thing really quickly. I think especially as we know the tires are all scrubbed in now, so it sits really nicely and everything.
And the drive is amazing. It transformed the car completely. I cannot wait to get this thing back on the drag strip.
So I love that. I can't wait to see it on the drag strip. But what are there's a bigger thing here. You were telling Dan, I missed the first episode. Yes.
I'm the kind of guy who I'm always tearing to the engine, pistons,
Yes,
rods, crankshaft, valve train, you name it, camshafts. But this time, what could I do to extract the most reliable power out of a factory power plant? So that will involve a high flow downpipe, higher flow exhaust system. How much power can we do with that? I want to make sure that the valving, where you go from Eco to Sport, Sport Plus, and N mode still exists.
So now when you do that, I thought that was suspension settings and a little bit of the tune, but it's actually, there's a little bit more. So it's actually some of the
So you have
exhaust.
this valve, there's a valve that exists in here. This is the one we took off. And there's a valve that actually opens up and allows exhaust gases to flow out this second tip when in N mode.
So you're preserving that,
Yes.
but what did you add to this?
I'm
equation?
backdooring it now.
So N mode will essentially open up that valve,
Yes.
but you've done one N mode plus now.
There you go. So what I've done this time is when the valve opens up, it now bypasses, and of course, air being a fluid will take the path of least resistance and evacuate itself through that tip.
Through the second tip.
Yes, and give it a nice tone as well.
Yes.
But sometimes that tone could be a bit of a challenge. We can introduce drone when we don't have any muffler.
And now that's something like when you're driving with a modified exhaust, and not full wide open throttle, and on freeway speeds, 2,500 to 3,500 RPM, you just have that
That's quite
constantly.
annoying.
Yes.
Well, we do have a solution for that.
Okay.
What I call a pulse chamber. It's like a Helmholtz resonator. And what it does is it takes advantage of wave propagation and cancels out unwanted frequencies. So there are restrictions that exist in the factory system. This is what we're installing. This is a very nice prototype device that we're going to replace what we're taking out now with.
But we're not only just doing the downpipe, we have the exhaust as well.
Yeah.
So downpipe and exhaust. Okay, so we're excited. Let's see what's happening. How much does the engine cover add?
Oh, about 16 wheel. No, I'm kidding.
16 wheel horsepower.
It's just cosmetic.
It is very cosmetic, so we like that.
High flow downpipe is in. The exhaust mod is now completed. Duran and I knocked it out. And now it's time to put on the dyno and see what happens.
We're excited.
Okay.
All right, it's dyno time. There he is right now. What are you seeing right now? What's happening?
Good numbers.
24 horsepower.
And almost 20 foot-pounds of torque.
That was awesome. I just want to say, next stage, could we see some flames?
I'll try my best.
So this is the intercooler that BC and I have mocked up for the Veloster. Really need to bring in something with a little bit more volume, can handle a little bit more boost, and this is what we've come up with. So that was fast.
That was fast. This is the factory intercooler. As you can see, it's about a 4-inch core, but not very tall.
Yeah.
Look at the comparison.
Wow.
And end caps are casted. You can see how the fins are compared to this. Yeah, well, we'll throw her in.
Out with the old, in with the new.
We now have the intercooler in and a blow-up valve from TurboSmart, which is pretty nice. And while the intercooler was being put in, Albert from the team was able to throw on some brakes on this. And these brakes saved us 12 pounds per corner. How cool is that?
Turbo's out.
Turbo's out. And look at the difference between what came out and what's going in.
Now just put that thing back in and,
Yes, and see
and
what
then we hit the dyno.
Amen.
So I'm gonna check on some of the progress. Looks like everything's going back together. It is back together already.
Turbo's in, intake is in now. Ready to start this thing up and see what it does on the dyno. So, Dan, this is really good data. We started off initially, first time virgin, with a 215 wheel horsepower setup. We gained another 6 wheel horsepower with the intake alone. We had an opportunity to explore exhaust upgrades, which bumped us by 24 horsepower to the wheel, which is very nice.
Yeah.
Then now with the new turbo untuned, which is a big no-no, but we wanted to see what it was gonna do anyway, we gained additional 4 wheel, which is nice. So we're now at 249.5 to almost 250, untuned. Now, guys, I must implore you, it's not wise. I just want to see what data. It's not wise to put a bigger turbo and not tune your car, but I want to see what's gonna happen. So it's some good data to have, but we will not get the full potential of the turbo without tuning. So we'll see what happens.
Good morning, BC.
Is it morning?
It is.
I'm tired. I've been here like crazy trying to figure out this madness over here. Now it's time to go to the track. So let's go see what this thing does.
Headed to the track.
Heading into track.
Suited. Yep. Ready to go. So, BC suited up. I'm aiming down the line. That's all he really has to do. The track is sticky. I can feel it on my feet walking up here. Well,
Oh, it makes good power, but
it's faster.
it can't hook.
It's faster, that's for sure.
It is, it is.
Yeah, mile per hour is consistent.
up, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And it leaving the hole, it just sounds so much harder.
Understood.
Yeah.
But it spins so much.
Yeah.
You know? So
It's just you gotta get used to it.
I
You
do.
you can't do it in 4 or 5 runs, you know?
Understood.
So
that's correct. But she's a lot of fun, sounds great, accelerates nicely.
the burnout was way better too.
Thank you. Thank you.
That looks sick.
Thank you so much.
Well, we know it's
All right.
faster.
Yes.
Now it's just seat time.
Absolutely. And with some seat time, it should be very nice. Or
Seat
some,
time in this car. It sounds
seat
better.
time, yeah.
It looks
Right,
nicer. Woo! I say success.
Thank you.
I say success.
Cheers.
Last you saw, we were at the track. The thing made a bunch more power. It was hard to put down the traction even. Just everything was a little bit jittery. But now we've made it to the end goal, which is SEMA. And we've been walking for quite a while to find the Hyundai booth so we can check out the hot hatch. It's got some more things, I know. But the end goal was to get it here, get it to SEMA, make it look cool. It drives great. Let's see the end result.
Hello, Dad. We're here.
You look
We
like
made
a
it.
salesman right now.
Good to see you.
You
How are
actually
brother?
made it.
Made it. After all that craziness, after all the madness, we're finally here at SEMA. Limited time, lots of mods. Do you remember what we did? Do you remember how crazy this was?
Yeah.
We had the opportunity to take it to IBOC and get it slammed, lowered very nicely. Was elegant and still has a great ride.
Right.
Above and beyond that, the intake. We got a nice 6 horsepower bump with that alone from AEM, that little collaboration that we
Yeah.
did. But it got really interesting when we started doing exhaust modifications. We did a high flow downpipe, an exhaust, and there's another 25 wheel, which is amazing.
Nice. A big
Upgraded
difference.
turbo, and then tuned it, and boom, north of 270, which is great. And lots of power as you start the track, even though we went to do different tracks. The wheel spin, good indication. More power.
More power.
Higher mile an hour. More
Better
indication,
looking
more power.
burnout for sure.
Oh, the burnout. That thing is dope, wasn't it? But above and beyond that, we didn't have enough time because of the SEMA crunch to really practice on the track and get rid of those traction gremlins. But nonetheless, it's a lot of fun. Hey, how do you like that roof rack we have?
That's the first thing I noticed when I walked around the corner.
So
is a
we
new
couldn't
roof
do
rack.
that when you were around, but the day after you left, we got it going. So just in case we want to take the kids out and grab some pizza and then put some belongings in there.
So this is your real hot hatch now.
Yes, it's real hot hatch. Look.
It's capable. It looks good.
Ah,
really
it's hot.
Good. Oh.
But it's good. So we had a good time, and now we're at the Hyundai booth, and it's beautiful around, lots of cars, but this seems to stand out very nicely.
When we saw it last, it was in your shop, and
Yes.
you were rushing.
Quite a bit, actually.
So let's see it in final SEMA form.
Well, in final SEMA form, you may see externally we have this roof box, which is pretty cool, courtesy of, But look inside. We did some more lighting, because you and I kind of added some weight to the car.
Right.
We fixed that. Look at that.
Ooh.
We have some beautiful Momo racing seats, which is nice.
Yeah.
Some rails as well, which is beautiful. And I don't know if you remember at the track, we had that cool infotainment system that plugged to OBD courtesy of AEM. It's right there on the dash, which is pretty cool as well.
Oh man, can I sit in there?
Please, by all means, I'd insist. So you look at these Daytona Safari seats, very nice. It gives you like good confidence, nice bolster. The factory one was good, but it's much lighter.
This
Very
is
nice.
sweet too.
That's really cool.
That's
And
a
we can
really-
record on it too, which is
It's a
pretty
really
nice.
good position as well.
Thank you. For the driver, not the passenger, but they don't need to see what's going on.
The driver is the only one that needs to know what's
Amen.
happening.
There we go. So you remember the AM intake, but you'll see the downpipe, which we have there as well,
Sure.
which is pretty nice. The turbocharger you can't quite see, but that's modified internally if you remember.
I remember that.
And the factory ECU, which we flash as well to have a lot more power and tuning prowess, which is good. But this is a very nice visual display, which is nice.
Sure
And then
is.
remember that cool blow-off valve we had? I don't know if you can see, but right down there we have the Turbo Smart blow-off valve, which instead of recirculating, like really,
Sounds so good.
sends out to atmosphere. which
That
is
was one
nice
of the,
sound.
I think, one of my favorite parts of the trip
Yeah,
out there
understood.
was every time we saw an underpass or
Understood.
a bridge.
It was pretty good.
We know he's a kid at heart.
I'm a huge advocate of really bringing cars to life and making it our own.
Right.
For every enthusiast around the planet. And a lot of these parts will be available first quarter of next year.
That's amazing. And everything was pretty simple to put together.
Very straightforward.
Even though it's a little bit of R&D for
Yeah,
you guys, but
but-
that's what makes it easy for everyone else.
Absolutely. Simple hand tools. You can really
Right.
convert a car to this.
Yeah,
A
and
little bit of elbow grease. You'll be good to go.
we had fun through the process. You know, it was
A lot of
it was
fun.
cool.
It
Like to
was.
see what it's come from, which was cool anyway from the factory, just to be able to buy this. But the hot hatch that you turned it into,
Thank you.
cool wheels,
Amen.
suspension,
Yes.
sounds great,
Sounds great with the exhaust system, doesn't it? Backfires and
quite a bit quicker.
yes, and a lot of burnout smoke. That's very important.
Burnout smoke is a big
smoke
deal,
is very important.
especially with us. Another great job.
Thank you, sir. Look forward to the next one.
For sure, man.
Thank you.
And
Cheers.
Let's enjoy SEMA.
Amen.
There you have it. From factory to now the showroom floor at SEMA. Thanks for watching the SEMA Hot Hatch build by Bisimoto.